standing wave, and sometimes you also say stationary wave. It's basically interference of a two wave which are moving in opposite directions. So like these two waves are moving in opposite direction. So whenever they will combine, they might form a standing wave. So amplitude of this one is A1 and amplitude of second wave is A2. So amplitude of resulting wave after interference, it will increase. And we can find out that amplitude using this formula. R square is equal to A1 square plus A2 square plus 2 A1 A2 into cos phi, where cos phi is phase difference and A1 and A2 is amplitude of the wave. Now if these two waves combine like this one, means they are moving in opposite direction and their phase difference is pi. So in that case, that phi will become negative. So final amplitude will decrease. So if they are in the same phase, amplitude will increase, and opposite phase amplitude will decrease. Standing wave form if two waves are moving in opposite direction and they interfere. For example, this is the first wave and first wave is moving in forward direction like this one, right side. So if I write equation of this wave, I'll get y1 is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. Now we have a second wave and second wave is moving opposite direction of this one. It's returning back. It's coming like this one. So in that case, what's the equation? Y2 is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. Now, if I combine these two equations, interference means combination, addition of these two equations. If I combine these two equations, I can write y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t plus sine kx plus omega t. So if I expand this one using sine a plus sine a minus b formula and sine a plus b formula, I am taking this one a, this one b, this one a and this one b. And if I expand this equation, so I'll get y is equal to a sine kx cos omega t minus cos kx into sine omega t, and for second one again sine kx into cos omega t plus cos kx into sine omega t. So, so many terms will get cancelled. Basically, these two terms will get cancelled. So, final answer what we'll get, y is equal to 2a sine kx into cos omega t. So, this is the equation of standing wave or else stationary wave. So whenever we have to represent a stationary wave, so we have equation for stationary wave, and that equation is y is equal to 2a sine kx into cos omega t. So this thing is the amplitude of a stationary wave, and this is the diagram for a stationary wave. See, these all particles are oscillating. So somewhere that particle will oscillate maximum distance. So this C amplitude is plus 2a, and this one is minus 2a. So when amplitude is maximum, that point we say it antinode. So this point is antinode, this point is antinode, this one is antinode. And wherever amplitude is 0, that point we say node. So this is node, this one is node. So this is the clear example of a stationary wave and nodes and antinodes. So what I said, basically antinodes means amplitude is maximum and node means amplitude is minimum. So this represent amplitude. Whatever I am putting in the bracket, this one represent amplitude of the wave. So for node, amplitude should be minimum. So in that case, sine kx should be minimum, means what? Sine kx should be 0. It means kx should be equal to n pi. And in place of k, I can write 2 pi by lambda into x is equal to n pi. Pi and pi get cancelled. X is equal to, I will get n lambda divided by 2. Means if I have to find out position of a maxima, position of a node, not maxima, position of a node, first node will be at 0, second node will be at lambda by 2. Just I am substituting value of n, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So first one will be 0. Second one will be lambda by 2. Third one will be lambda, and fourth one 3 lambda by 2, and so on, then 2 lambda. So these are the position of a node where node happen. Now if I have to find out position of antinode, in that case we know amplitude of this one y is equal to 2a sine kx, this into cos omega t. Is amplitude of this one means this value should be maximum. So what's the maximum value of sine kx? That is equal to 1, means kx is equal to, I can write 2n plus 1 into lambda, 2n plus 1 into pi. 1 or minus 1. So I can write here 2 pi by lambda into x, that should be equal to 2n plus 1 into pi. Pi and pi get cancels. Here x I'll get n plus 1 by 2 into lambda by 2. So in place of when if I write zeros, I'll get lambda by 4. In place of when if I write 1, so what I'll get? 3 lambda by 4. Then 5 lambda by 4, and so on. So these are the positions of antinode. So antinodes are the point where amplitude is maximum. For example, these are the antinodes, these are the antinodes, these are the antinodes, and node are the point where amplitude is minimum. So this is node, this one will be node, this one will be node. So this is how we find out position of node and antinode. Right. Let's move ahead and solve one question based on that. So we have one question based on this one. Equation of a standing wave is already given, that is a 4 sine 5s cos 96 pi t. And what they are asking, find out equation of progressive wave whose superposition give above standing wave. Means from which wave we made this standing wave, component of this wave, from which it's made. So what I can write here, if I compare y is equal to 2a sine kx into cos omega t. So y1 was a sine kx minus omega t, and y2 a sine kx plus omega t. So if first equation is the standing wave, it means second and third equation are their components. So if this equation is a standing wave, y is equal to 4 sine 15 pi x into cos 96 pi t, then in place of 2a, it's a 4. It means a is equal to how much? 2. In place of omega, that is 96 pi. And in place of k, that is 15 pi. So if I want to write component of this one, then y1 is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. Just I have to substitute value. So in place of a, that is 2, sine in place of k, that is 15 pi, into x in place of omega, that is 96 pi t. So this is the first wave from which this wave is made. Now second wave y2, that will be equal to 2 sine 15 pi x plus 96 pi t. So this is the second wave, from this one it's made. So these are the component of this wave. Now if further, if I extend this question, now they might ask what's the velocity of this particle. So if they are asking velocity, in that case you have to differentiate this equation with respect to t and keeping x constant. And if they can ask what is the position of node, so position of a node, if node position we need to calculate, we know node will happen at 0, then lambda by 2, then lambda, then 3 lambda by 2. So if I know lambda, then I can substitute value and we can calculate. For antinode, what will do? Antinode, antinode, that will be lambda by 4, that will be lambda by 4, 3 lambda by 4, and 5 lambda by 4. So if I know lambda, then I can calculate node as well as antinode. And we know k is equal to 15 pi. It means 2 pi by lambda is equal to 15 pi. Pi and pi get cancelled, so lambda will be equal to 2 pi by lambda is equal to 15 pi. So lambda will be equal to 2 divided by 15. So after getting lambda, we can find out value of node and antinode. All right. So let's solve one more question based on this one. So there is a equation of a standing wave. This is the equation of a standing wave. X, Y, and everything is given, and they are asking find out amplitude, velocity of two component of wave. Calculate distance between adjacent node, means node position, and what is velocity of medium particle at x is equal to 3 and t is equal to 1 by 8. So first thing what we have to do, just if I compare, so this thing is the 4a, 4 like it's a twice of amplitude. So 2a that is equal to 4, it means a is equal to 2 meters. So amplitude of that one will be 2 meter. Right now it's given the centimeter, so amplitude will be equal to 2 centimeter. First thing is amplitude. Second thing, velocity of component of wave. So how to calculate velocity? Amplitude we got. Now in place of omega that is equal to 40 pi, it means 2 pi f is equal to 40 pi. If I calculate frequency, so frequency will be equal to 120 centimeter per second. If I calculate frequency if I calculate, so that will be pi and pi get cancelled. So frequency I will get 20 hertz. So I got frequency 20 hertz. And in place of k, if you see, that is given pi by 3. It means 2 pi by lambda is equal to pi by 3. Pi and pi get cancelled and lambda is equal to 6. So lambda is 6 and frequency is 20. This frequency is 20 and lambda is 6. And we know how to find out velocity of wave. V is equal to f lambda. So 20 into 6, that will be 120 centimeter per second. So this is the velocity. Now calculates distance between adjacent nodes, means nodes position. First node will be at 0, second will be at lambda by 2, third one will be at lambda, then it will be at 3 lambda by 2 and so on. And we know already position of lambda means that will be 0, then 6 by 2, then 6, then 3 by 2 into 6. So this will be the position of a node, adjacent node. And if I have to calculate a position of antinode, by the way, they are not asking this question, that will also calculate lambda by 4, 3 lambda by 4 and so on. So lambda value is already given. How much it is? 6. Basically we calculated, not given. So lambda is equal to 6. Just I need to substitute this value. Now most important part, they are asking what is the velocity of particle at x is equal to 3 centimeter at time 1 by 8. It means for velocity of particle we have to differentiate this equation. Which equation? This equation with respect to time. So if I differentiate this equation with respect to time, so what I'll get finally, dy by dt is equal to 4 cos pi by 3x into cos. If I differentiate these equations, after differentiation what I'll get, dy by dt, I just differentiate given equation. So given equation if I differentiate, I'll get 4 cos pi by 3x into cos 40 pi t into 4. And now I have to substitute values. If I substitute this whole value, this will become 160 pi, just 40 pi I just multiply in this one. So that will be 160 pi cos pi by 3x into cos 40 pi t. Now in place of x, what I have to write? In place of x, it's a 3 and in place of t, it's a 1 by 8 and it's already given in the question. So if I substitute this value, so finally what I'll get? After substituting this value, I will get 160 pi into cos pi into cos 40 pi into 1 by 8. So if I solve this one, I will get 160 pi into cos pi into cos 5 pi, and we know value of cos pi. So cos pi value is how much? Cos pi is minus 1. This is also minus 1. So this is minus 1. This is also minus 1. Minus minus become plus. So 160 pi meter per second. So this is the velocity of particle. By the way, they will ask velocity of the wave. So it's a stationary wave. So what will be velocity of wave? That will be 0, right?